Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Ruben Show. Today we're going to talk about intelligence. Why, what, who, where are we really intelligent? Intro. Namana namana ooh, namana namana ooh. Namaste, namaste. Unconditional love is the way. Welcome, beautiful masters. Let's start with the why. Why do we need to question our intelligence, our neighbor's intelligence, the government's intelligence, the school intelligence, the PhD intelligence, the master intelligence, the university intelligence, everybody's intelligence? This is very simple. Brothers and sisters, why we must question it? Because intelligence is not bringing us together. Intelligence is basically dividing us. Right now, we are at a moment where everybody is heading in a different direction. There are too many minds, too many visions. There is so much division that we are pretty much destroying ourselves collectively. We, as a collective intelligence, we are not creating harmonious, benevolent, peaceful environments. And that's why we need to question intelligence. I can go on and on about why we must question intelligence. There are so many reasons, and I bet you can find many reasons. But I rather not to extend myself too much on this because I don't want to insult your intelligence. I'm pretty sure that you are aware that, for instance, we are buying water. So that the government, which is intelligent, is not providing reliable water for our families. I know you're aware that corporations, which are intelligent, are demanding from you to work longer hours and to stay away from your family. So somebody else can educate and raise your kid, and you're paying for it. Why, in the educational system that you and me went through it, a person that is good at mathematics was perceived as more intelligent than a person that was good at drawing or painting, or more intelligent perceived as more intelligent than a person that is good at playing soccer or playing basketball. Why some people, not everybody, think that they are smarter than animals, or of a higher level than animals. And if they are of a higher level, of a higher intelligence, why are they killing them? So there is a lot of whys. There is a lot of reasons why we need to question intelligence and what's intelligence. So let's move into what's intelligence. Beautiful brothers and sisters, let's do one exercise, and just for today, for the next 20 minutes, let's humble ourselves, or the last 10 minutes, whatever it is, let's humble ourselves and let's consider, be willing to think about, just think about that there is a higher intelligence that creates you and me and the environment, the natural order we live in. And why am I asking you to do this exercise? Because there are so many ideas, options that there are so much confusion. Confused. We are confused about standards. We are confused about what's good or not. There is so much information. So if I tell you an opinion about intelligence, what's intelligence, you most likely will disagree probably, or it will be too broad. It will be a very big subject to just bring it down to a simple concept. But here is the thing. If we do the exercise and we believe, or at least we're willing to consider, we are open to think about it, that there is a higher source that creates you perfectly, you and me, then one way to know what's intelligence is by tracing whatever information we're getting back to the source and see if that information comes from a benevolent source, which means just to make sure that that intelligence that is informing us, that is forming us, shaping us, is creating life and life more abundantly. And at the end of the day, you, my brother, and me, my sister, we are looking for life and life more abundantly. We want the best for our families. We want the best for the people we love. We want a harmonious, peaceful environment where we can progress. Progress being, if you want to see it, being happy, being blissful, being full of joy. And the reason I don't want to spend too much time telling you this is this, or you telling me yes or not, or let's create, it's because we all come from different experiences, we have different perceptions. But at the end of the day, what brings us together is the fruit. Because we want the good fruit. We want abundance. We want love. So what intelligence is that ability to trace the source, to trace the information back to the source and make sure it comes from a good source. And make sure that it's going to give you good fruit, life and life more abundantly. Think about this. Somebody designed this beauty that we are in. I'm talking about your body. Think about the biology. Think about all the systems that keep you alive. Somebody designed the environment, the nature we're living on, animals, everything. So there is a higher conscious, a higher intelligence that is out there, which is the source. So everything that we perceive, all the information that we get through our senses, come from a source. And it does come from a benevolent source, the one that creates this beauty, or for a manipulated version of it. What? So we could say that intelligence, we could just be open to think that intelligence is our ability to trace the information that our senses receive back to the source. In that way, we can see that if the intelligence or the information we're getting comes from a benevolent source or has been distorted and is not creating life. So that's a criteria. So the criteria is the results, the fruit. And in that way we have a more clear criteria, and we can question the educational system's intelligence. We can question the government's intelligence. We can question our own intelligence. Are we creating life and life more abundantly in our kingdom or in our life? What I'm saying is, intelligence should and must create life and life more abundantly. If intelligence is not doing that, then it's not intelligence. Period. So in other words, in a different way to see it, intelligence is your ability or the ability of the substance or the entity of the person to create life and life more abundantly. And the question again, are we intelligent? Are we really intelligent? Are you really intelligent? Are you creating life and life more abundantly? And if not, why? That's the reason why you have to question your intelligence. So we have the why, we have the what. What's intelligence? The ability to create life and life more abundantly, or your ability to trace the information back to the source and make sure it comes from a benevolent source. But who is the source? Because we're talking about the source and we're talking about a higher intelligence that creates life and life more abundantly. But we are not creating life and life more abundantly. So clearly, the source, the who, has been manipulated or distorted. So we're getting a distorted reality of who we are. I'm not quite sure, my brother, my sister, if you, but I do rather, if I have the option, to go straight to the original source instead of getting a version of the original source, and a version that has been manipulated according to somebody else's perception. So most likely it's going to be a distorted or manipulated version for the benefit of somebody else but me. And certainly we are not getting the original version because as a collective, our collective intelligence is not creating life and life more abundantly. Just look around. Look around. Look at the world. There is a lot anxiety, depression, violence, division. So certainly we're not getting the original version, because no matter what people might say, and they might argue that intelligence is relative, whatever it is, at the end of the day, you and me want the same, which is life and life more abundantly. That's the fruit. We want that fruit. And that fruit comes from a source. There is only one source. Even though, or contrary to what you might believe or somebody might believe, there is only one source. And that source has been departmentalized into many sources. And those sources are all fake sources because they are not creating life and life more abundantly. So that's why it's so important that we trace the who. We trace the information back to the who, to the source. In that way, we can make sure that whatever we are putting our energy on, it is to create life and life more abundantly. It's that simple. It's that simple, my brother and sister. The question is, who is your source of information? Who is your source of intelligence? Who is giving you the definitions and the words that are building your world? Because words create worlds. So whoever is giving you the who, that person, whoever gave it to you, the definition, the school, please do trace it back. Because if something is not working in your life, it could be just as simple as you have the wrong definition because you have the wrong source. So just by knowing the who, you can fix your whole life in a minute. Just by gaining awareness. It changes everything. Just one word. The definition of that word will change your whole world. And now you might be asking, okay, Ruben, I got you. I need to find the who. I need to trace back to the source. But where? Where do I go? Because we were programmed to condition by tradition to go outside when we need something. So if we need to understand something, we go outside. And that's a tradition. We were traditionally put in an educational system that is constantly pushing us or condition us to go outside to look for answers. But we got to question, again, the source. We got to question the tradition. Who gave us that tradition? And when we start questioning the tradition, we're going to get to a point where the only reliable source is oneself. So the only reliable source is your intuition. And it's not a coincidence that you go to university to pay tuition to get information. It comes from your intuition, but your intuition was already given to you. That's why you have an intuition that you don't know where it comes from, but you know and you feel that it is benevolent or not. That's why you know when somebody's lying to you. It's intuition. It's you already know that, and you don't need any reason or logic. The trick, if you want to call it, the way we have been framed is because tradition, somebody come and told us, you have to go outside to get information. You're not enough. You don't know. You're not smart. But the reality is completely the opposite. That's why it's so important to trace back to the source. And the source is yourself, my beautiful sister and my beautiful brother. The only reliable source is yourself. The where is intelligence? Intelligence is inside you. Is your intuition. That's your divine connection with the higher intelligence. So I know, my beautiful master, that we are not used to it, but we are at a point where to rely in anything that is given to us, we are being forced, and we are being somehow forced for the higher intelligence to go inside, because there is not, or there is few, or every day there is less reliable sources. So we are coming to the point where the only reliable source is ourselves. And that's happening because it's part of the evolution. And evolution is about loving oneself. The only way to evolve is through love. And love is about knowing something. In this case, love is about loving oneself. Love is about knowing oneself. The only way to get to know yourself is to go inside. And inside you're going to find unlimited intelligence. And I'm sharing this because I am at the same spot that you are. If you're listening to this, it's because you are interested in, or you are open, you're willing to evolve. And I'm at the same spot. I'm evolving. I am going inside me to get to know myself so I can love myself. And I can be the source of that intelligence, that higher intelligence. I can be the expression of that higher intelligence that is inside me as well as inside you. So I am in the process of inner and understanding what intelligence really is, finding it inside me and power it. So I can generate, as a generator, a better frequency that can increase the frequency of the collective intelligence. So we are all in the same boat, and I hope this is useful for you, my beautiful sister and brother. If you have any question, please do not hesitate to contact me at spacemaestry@gmail.com. There is a link at the bottom of this podcast. And if you want to know a little bit more about how to find an empowered or power up your intelligence, yourself, you the source, do please contact me. Thank you very much. If you like it, please share it. Sharing is love. Thank you very much for listening. I hope to see you or have you again. Thank you very much.